AKAPADers. A little bit of a confession. I feel guilty doing today's episode. It's Jaws. Everyone's celebrating the 50th anniversary. I recently just saw Superman. They had Jaws popcorn buckets and merchandise there. The AMC theaters, a weird thing happens when you get your concessions. You are sold blankets and hats and pillows and 50, 60, $80 popcorn buckets. But I feel guilty. I've been doing this for way too long not to talk to you about Jaws. So let's go.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
Good evening. Jaws right now. It's available on Peacock. You can get the subscription if you're a Comcast Xfinity subscriber. I believe you get Peacock for free, which I believe I double pay for Peacock. I gotta call those guys and get that figured out. What can I say about what possibly can I say about this movie that has not already been said? Well, let's go into. We got something though. And guys, this is one of the greatest movies of all time. This is easily a top 20 movie. Now, it's not in my top 10, but this movie moves. And I was able to see this movie through the eyes of someone who hasn't seen it before, my fiance. She absolutely thrilled. The movie gripped her, and I just saw her like fall right into it. That's the intent of a movie, right? A lot of things come down to that Quentin Tarantino little speech where he says he prefers making movies because when he makes a movie, he has you for 2 hours. I think that's a amazing line. So the box office for this movie, 1975, $477 million. But that's in 1975 money. Right? That's not in today's money. It's weird how we discuss this box office. I don't understand it. Every time it might be easier to track for the dummies, right? But we should track by inflation. So let's just adjust that $1975 today. Today, this movie would make $2.85 billion. Now, that's not just the money though. You have to divide that by your average ticket cost. And then you get this range of how many tickets were sold. That really should be the barrier. Could you imagine a movie today making $3 billion? It would be considered the greatest movie of all time. It would easily be the greatest movie of all time. And that's where we are with some of these conversations. I recently addressed this on Twitter because people were going back and forth about Man of Steel and the new Superman movie. And I said, you gotta add inflation. They are still arguing about that within that thread, within that post thread right now. I just saw there was 12 updates overnight. That's not too much, but it's still people going back and forth about it. Is this new? It makes me think that it's too nuanced, too deep of an idea. The amazing thing, see, I remember, I guess it's somewhat of the holy grail or crown jewel of Jaws merchandise. It wasn't until the 90s, Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn. And why are we discussing merchandise? Because we're going to make another point here. So point number one, the inflation thing. Try and find that somewhere else. You won't. That's why you subscribe. That's why we all rock out to the to the Film Buff podcast. Merchandise. So Todd McFarlane, the guy that created Spawn, that was a movie we talked about that movie. I think we talked about that movie 3 times on this podcast. He makes all of his money in comics, but he creates this toy company, and they have a line called Movie Maniacs, where everything's hyper realistic, and they're almost just like plastic statues. They're not really action figures, but he does this Jaw playset that depicts Quinn getting eaten by Jaws. So it's Jaws, and one half of the orca, that's the boat, is in Jaws' mouth. To find a high grade condition one of that, it's going to set you back hundreds of dollars. To find a high grade one, complete one out of the box, that's going to set you back up hundreds of dollars. But that piece of merchandise came and went. It got released. It was a box set. Stores, got only so many of them. But it came and went. And when it went, it's not like it exploded on the aftermarket. It slowly grew in value. Sideshow collectibles. We know Sideshow Weta from special effects, Lord of the Rings, District 9, Avatar. They're the true competitor to Industrial Light and Magic. They did a similar statue set, statue diorama. That's in the thousands. And all these things grew in value slowly over time. And then I'm in line for Superman, and there is just endless Jaws merchandise right in front of my face for this 50th anniversary. I'm like, my head's blown back. They literally have a Jaws popcorn bucket where you can eat the popcorn out of Jaws' mouth. So I go to just eBay, and I just search like Jaws action figures, and there's they're called reaction action figures, but there's multiple lines. If you search Jaws statue, there's multiple statues now. There's just products within products. Jaws is not just a movie right now. It's this idea. I don't know what the idea, like I'm not involved enough to crystallize the idea for you guys, but people want a piece of this movie. And some of it, I think it really comes down to something that's perfect. They want to own a piece of. It's like having the statue of David as a magnet, or maybe like a little pencil sharpener on your desk. Like you want to own a piece of perfection, and I think that's what Steven Spielberg gave us. He gave us a perfect movie. There is no scene in this movie that can be taken out. There's no line of dialogue that can be changed. There's no characters, motivations that have to be redefined or debated. This is a movie about 3 guys trying to kill a giant shark. And that's it. And it's not crazy. Jaws doesn't leap out of the ocean to snatch anyone off of a boat in this. And we see the fascination with this movie, with Deep Blue Sea, with Meg. I love both of those movies too. Meg too, highly underrated. But yeah, guys, it's really hard to talk about perfection. Jaws, the 50th anniversary. This is one of those celebrations I am fully behind. I think it's well earned. I would say similar to Back to the Future, but Back to the Future was already kind of merchandised back in the day. But as Back to the Future has grown through time and its generations, Jaws has. Alright, AKAPAD, there's a little bit of a quick one today. AKAPAD, the Film Buff Podcast. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.